masked man the town had started calling the cheerleader slayer had finally been identified. However, nobody could have expected that the upcoming battle to stop him would last well over 2 decades. As soon as he was in custody, Wesley confessed and pleaded guilty to Retha's murder, with 5 charges and a brutal murder to top it all. Everyone expected the trial to quickly lead to a life sentence without much debate or resistance. But things weren't that simple. Wesley got his hands on an excellent defense lawyer who came up with a plan, convinced the jury that his young client had his whole life ahead of him and that the was simply a youthful mistake. What ultimately worked in Wesley's favor, though, was his lawyer's ability to separate the charges from the murder itself, effectively weakening the case and guaranteeing him a reduced sentence.
I couldn't even understand why, when someone gave a confession, that they did it. Why were we doing all of this? I remember always asking the DA, when is he going to be charged with the cases? And during that process, the jury was not allowed to know that he was a suspect in other ways.
Before the trial began, the life sentence was cut to 25 years, a number unthinkable for the victims and the prosecutor. And as it went on, the procedure devolved into a complete farce. Stripped of the ability to mention anything beyond Retha's murder, the prosecutor found himself backed into a corner, outplayed at every turn by Wesley's defense attorney. And Wesley benefited from a deeply ingrained Texan bias, leniency toward athletes.
Football is big in Texas. There's no getting around that. And sometimes football players seem to get the benefit of the doubt from the jury. We want to cut them a break. We want to give them a chance. It seems to matter that they are football players when it really shouldn't. We hear people say Wesley had potential. There are things that he could have done with his life. But people don't take the time to talk about the potential of Retha.
On October 21st, 1982, the jury, unaware of all the he had committed, still found Wesley Miller guilty, but only sentenced him to 25 years.
Prosecutors say a look of anguish covered the jurors' faces when they learned of Miller's past. He has been charged in other cases with 2 counts of rape, and he could be walking the streets on parole in 8 years.
For all of us that had been victims of him, it was almost a slap in the face. You want justice to prevail, and 25 years was not justice for any of us.